At this time, rumors of Insta360 releasing a Micro Four Thirds camera have all been but confirmed, as there is a Reddit post which links to a now deleted Bilibili post which had photos of the camera in question. And as the story develops, there is probably going to be at least one YouTube video that covers it. But on a more serious note, the pictures match a leaked photo posted by the Insta360 CEO on Weibo. And that photo looks to be the same as the two that were just recently leaked. And considering that GoPro just announced and is going to be releasing the GoPro MISSION 1 PRO ILS, which is a GoPro-shaped camera with a 1-inch sensor and a Micro Four Thirds mount. And while it doesn't have autofocus, some of the other specs on that camera are quite interesting, especially considering how light it is. So with that development, I would not be surprised that Insta360 has a camera in development that will be released soon. And with GoPro and Insta360 releasing cameras, I feel like it's only a matter of time before DJI finally enters the fray. And since DJI is a member of the L-mount Alliance, and I believe they have cinema cameras that already use the L-mount, I would not be surprised if they roll out a full-frame interchangeable lens camera, because you also need to keep in mind that DJI does have an ownership stake in Hasselblad. So they're already releasing medium format cameras. It just doesn't seem that big of a jump to me for them to enter into competition with Canon, Sony, and Nikon. And as for Panasonic and, well, not OM Systems, but still one and the same, they don't seem to be interested in competing on small bodies. And I don't think that the images are AI generated, as I have the lens the camera is pictured with. And these new entrants into the Micro Four Thirds ecosystem has me excited because the idea of small cameras has seemingly been abandoned. You know, I would like something to use my Lumix 20mm on, or the 14. I mean, look how small these lenses are. You don't get that with full frame. And I know I'm not alone because we can translate Weibo and see what the Chinese have to say. And here is the original post by the Insta360 CEO that has been translated. Moving towards new focal lengths is the caption, and that would make sense because with interchangeable lenses, they're not going to be stuck with something that is a wide angle. I like the translated Chinese names. Oriental Stray Dog is pretty good. DJI isn't making mirrorless cameras anymore, and Inspire, which is the name of Insta360 in China, beat them to it this time. The world has suffered under Canon's riches for too long, and kings and generals born with a special destiny, I'll definitely support them. Not Your Berry wants it to have a front-facing screen because the Samsung they've been using for the last 10 years has one. That's great. I mean, how can you not like auspicious clouds float over the purple pavilion, joy overflows from the vermilion gate? What a name! And they think it is similar to the ZVE-10. And I'm not sorry. Gula Gurgle Gurgle, Austrian snow-capped mountains, Tiger who is happy to eat vegetarian food are all way better names than you're going to find on the English internet. Because there's not an EVF, and considering all the other offerings from Insta360 are for video, would assume that the camera is going to be very video focused. With that in mind, I'm interested to find out if it has image stabilization and if that is going to be IBIS or digital. I would prefer IBIS so you don't get resolution loss or a further crop on the lenses being used. And the other thing I've seen brought up is that the other Insta360 cameras record 8-bit video, and that's worse than all of the competition, which offers higher quality video. And then if there are going to be issues with heat or battery life, I don't think that's going to be the case because it is larger than an action camera. There's more room to dissipate heat and larger batteries can be used. Additionally, I would assume that it's going to work with the Insta360 wireless mics without needing a receiver. And I see that as an advantage over the assumed competition because all those cameras are getting pretty old. And my guess as to the camera that is going to be the closest to direct competition would be the Panasonic G100D. It was released in 2024 and it's a slightly updated version of the G100. And it can currently be purchased for $650 with a lens. The next Panasonic would be a GX85, which you can find for around $800. OM Systems is still selling the Olympus Pen EP7, which was released in 2021 in Europe and Japan, but it's not available in the US. In the US, the cheapest is going to be an old stock Olympus OMD EM10 Mark IV body for $600, and it was released in 2020, right around when OM Systems purchased the camera division from Olympus. There's also the Yongnuo YN455. I'm not sure if it is still for sale, and if you're going to be stuck with an outdated version of Android if you pick one up, but I always thought it was an interesting camera. Based on how old that competition is, I think that Insta360 could make inroads by offering higher resolutions and faster frame rates. It's going to be interesting to see what it eventually gets priced at. My guess is it's probably going to be around $750 or $800. That kind of seems to be where the entry level is to have good video quality, 4K or better. That price point would put it in direct competition with the Canon R50, or it would be a little bit more expensive than the Nikon Z30. With the advantage they would have over those two cameras is that the Micro Four Thirds lens selection is a lot better. I forget if there's more than 3 or 4 RFS lenses from Canon. Nikon does have a little wider offering, but it still pales into comparison with what you can get with Micro Four Thirds. Additionally, used Micro Four Thirds lenses are going to be much less expensive than the Nikon Z or RF lenses. And yeah, you could stick a Nikon Z or a Canon RF lens on those cameras, but those lenses tend to be much more expensive and not sure it really makes sense for entry-level cameras. And they're going to be pretty unwieldy if you stick an adapter to use a Nikon F or Canon EF lens on them. I just can't imagine that people are going to be super excited to do that with what I would assume to be a first camera purchase. I'm excited to see new entrants into the Micro Four Thirds ecosystem. I think the potential Insta360 camera is much more impressive than the GoPro that can't autofocus. Are there any specs or features I didn't cover that you would like to see in the camera that you think would make it successful against the rather mediocre competition? If I was OM Systems or Nikon, I think I would be a little worried. That's because OM Systems has basically been releasing the same camera over and over again with only minor changes. And Nikon has recently got their act together with buying Red, but I still feel like their software lags behind and they have not been innovative, which is why they have lost significant market share to Sony over the years. But only time will tell, and I am excited to see if this is actually a product and not just a long-standing rumor like the DJI full-frame camera.